Hello, this one is for the ladies. Have you ever felt that internal struggle and not known if you can be successful in your career and be a good mom? And I know it's something that I have fought a lot with. And so I wanted to come and give you a few tips and tell you that yes, you can. You can be successful in your career and you can be a good mom. Um, so part of the reason why I decided to start my own business um, goes back to when Evelyn, who is now 4, was 6 months old. She started to get really sick, and she was in and out of the hospital several times. And that was one of the most challenging and difficult moments of my life. It's like when you see it in the movies and all the doctors rush in and you're kind of pushed aside and pushed back, and you're watching over um, your child and just hoping and praying that everything is going to be okay. And that's what it was like. It was um, and I'm still getting emotional about it, but it was just such an out of body kind of experience. um, Okay, that was not a good um, distraction. Okay. Um, so it was a moment that really just rocks you to your core as a mom when you see your child in that position. And um, so Evelyn was in and out of the hospital a few different times during that winter. And my husband and I decided to take her out of daycare. And while we were in that transition period of trying to figure out what do we do, interviewing nannies, talking to different agencies for an au pair, and we had different people come in, my aunt, my sister, mother-in-law, different people came in and helped us take care of Evelyn during that time. And our jobs also had to provide some flexibility with that. So we found an au pair, Camila, and if you know us, you know Camila. She was with us for a year. She came from Panama and she helped us take care of Evelyn during that time. And when she was first coming, I believe she showed up on a weekend. And so I got a text message from my boss that said, "All right, so you'll be back normal on Monday, right?" Um, this young girl is coming from another country to stay with my baby. No, no, I won't be back on Monday. And it really just kind of shook me um, a little bit that was the expectation, that I was supposed to leave my baby with somebody I've never met from another country and go back to work. So that was kind of the first big thing that happened. And then I was in a work meeting and it ran over, and I got out of the meeting and I had a text message from Ashlyn, and I had forgotten to pick her up from volleyball. And talk about mom guilt. Man, that one hit me. And I was telling Ashlyn this story and she's like, "I don't remember that." I'm like, good. Normally the kids don't remember it, but it's you as a mom I remember it forever. And it was a long time ago, and I will never forget that moment and what it felt like. Um, and I was disappointed in myself as a mom at that moment. And so when I decided to start my business, yes, it's to help the construction industry, of course, and I want to be there and advocate for them, but it was also to help my family, and it was also to help other moms and dads who need that flexibility in their life and that need that balance, and to know that they don't have to choose between their work and their family. And that's really what we stand for at New Life Accounting. And what we believe our employees feel too, especially during this time of COVID, where their kids were home with them, all of us. We had conference calls with kids on our laps, and we made it work. So I am here to tell you that it is possible to have a career, to be successful in your career, and be a good parent. And I want to give you some tips on how to change that mindset, because I feel like it's something that we all internally struggle with, especially if you like what you do for a living, if you like your job, if you want to work. I know that is always a struggle to keep it balanced. So I wanted to give you a few tips that I had. And the first tip that I have is, while you don't have to choose between your career and having a family, I do think that you have to give something up. So maybe that looks like watching Netflix. Maybe that looks like happy hours with your friends. Maybe it looks like 90-minute gym sessions, so which turn into 2 hours by the time that you drive there. Do your hour plus long session, talk to friends, drive home. Maybe you give that up and you spend 30 minutes in your basement. Maybe it's social media and all the time that you're on social media when you could be spending that time with your kids or working. Maybe it's sporting events if you're into sporting events. So there's going to be something that has to be given up, but you get to decide that it's not your career and it's not your family. Number 2, get help. Every successful businesswoman has help. I promise you. So they have 1, 2, 3 nannies, cleaning crew, a chef, a driver, whatever you can think of, they have help. And maybe it's not at that level. You know, you can't afford 3 nannies and a chef and a cleaning person, but you could have your kids help with family chores. You could talk to your husband about maybe taking on some more responsibilities, or your wife if they aren't doing that. You could maybe, one of my team members, she ended up paying her nanny an extra $100 a week to do their kids' laundry. So you could find some little help like that around the house. Take vacations from work. Get your grandparents or a part-time nanny to help so you can get a weekend away with your spouse. Or maybe you take 3 days and you go somewhere else to do your work and really dive into your career for 3 days, and then you can come back and be a really good mom for the rest of the week. So find help, get help, don't be afraid to ask for help. And number 3, don't live for anyone else and don't compare to all the other moms that are out there. I know that is so much easier said than done. I do it too. But you do not have to be that perfect mom. You do not have to nurse your babies until they're 2 and homeschool them and make all their lunches look really cute with all these little die-cut things. You don't have to volunteer at their school every week. And that was something I heard from Rachel Hollis, which was like a huge light bulb. When Ashlyn was going through school, I wanted to be everything to her, and I was trying to overcompensate from my mistakes as a young mom. So I wanted to do everything. And when I heard that from Rachel Hollis, I was like, I don't have to volunteer at the school. I don't have to be that person. That is okay. There are people that really thrive and do well at that and want to do that so badly. So let them shine in that moment. There are people that want to volunteer for PTA and the classroom parties and lead the classroom parties. And that is okay. Let them have that moment. That is their specialty. There are moms that really thrive and want to homeschool their kids, and they do really well at that. So let them have that moment. Let them thrive in that moment. There are moms that do really well with making their school lunches, or maybe their kids have allergies of some sort and they have to make their lunches. It's okay that you are not that mom. There are some parents that really thrive in coaching their kids, sporting events. It's okay if you're not that mom. You do not have to be the perfect mom. You do not have to, nursing is a big one too, your babies. If that is too much, you don't have to nurse your babies. There are perfectly healthy babies that are bottle fed on formula. You don't have to be that mom. So you don't have to do everything, is what I'm saying. Give yourself some grace. You can be successful in your career. You can put a lot of energy and effort into your job, into your career, into those business goals that you have. And at the end of the day, you can go home and be an exceptional mom to your kids. So I just wanted to remind you of that. I currently don't have any men on my team, and I hope that we get the opportunity to have men on our team. But currently it is all women and we are all moms, so we have these conversations. And this is one that came up, and I know that we all struggle with it. So I wanted to share this with you too. If you are struggling with it, that it is okay and you can have both. You can be a good mom and you can have your career. So I hope that has helped you, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thanks.